Today is Sunday, the 28th of November, 2021. I hope everyone listening is having a great Sunday. And I wish you all the best for the rest of the week and for the rest of the year. My name is The Watchman, and I've been described on television as the man who is abroad and just sending voice notes. That's me. I'm the one. And today my voice note is about the impact of Legal Notice 277 of 2021, which has changed the procedure for the selection of substantive and acting commissioner and deputy commissioner. That follows the decision of the court in the Gary Griffith appointment or acting appointment case. Now, I've heard Gary making statements on a voice note referring to people as cowards and saying other disparaging things about members of government, as he has done in the past about members of other institutions. And he speaks about desperation on the part of the government in changing the legal notice. But wait a minute here. Isn't he the one who challenged the suspension and the acting appointment was challenged by an activist that led it to the court? It wasn't the government who did that. It was the actions of individuals, including himself. But more importantly, he seems bent and intent and desperate, in my opinion, to have the merit list that was prepared by the previous Service Commission and was taken back by the previous chairman of the Police Service Commission. He wants to have that list and submitted. And as I said in a previous voice note, is it because he knew or he knows that his name is number one on that list? So let's get to that. Or is it that he wants his name to come in Parliament and be rejected so he'll have some political points to hand to the opposition to try to embarrass the government? But let us deal with the reality. First of all, I hear him talking all the time about approval rating of 89%. I don't know where he got that figure from. Is it from the same place where he got the statistics of 37,000 illegal firearms in the country? Because I would like to know who conducted the survey, whether it was a reputable organization, what was the sample size, what was the time frame within which it was conducted, and what were the questions asked. And did those questions include some of the issues that came up subsequent to the end of his last appointment? Was there another survey done to see if there was a change in the perception of the public? And that's what a survey is, basically. It is perception. And perception is not always based on reality. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. Therefore, I heard one of my colleagues on a police chat group ask that same question. It's a very pertinent question. Who survey? Where? When? How? You may find that survey cannot stand up to scrutiny if done in a scientific manner. But let's go further. The previous merit list, and I'm calling it previous, was not only tainted, I think it was rotted out at the root. And Gary himself is the one to thank for doing that, because he himself said that members of government drafted that legal notice that was made him and only him the beneficiary of it. In other words, they created a law for one man, which, as we know, is improper and immoral to do. So he's laying it at the feet of the Attorney General. And today he's also disparaging the former Minister of National Security. Weren't they all friends? What happened? As soon as you disagree with Gary, you become the enemy and you become someone to be destroyed? Well, I'm waiting for my turn because I'm waiting for him. I have things to say too. So if you come after me, I'll be happy to put it in song over and over and over again. But let's go to what the important things are here. As we said, there were issues that raise perceptions of bias. And the law doesn't require actual bias. It just requires enough of a perception to make something bad or tainted. And the fact that Mr. Kewal Singh submitted comments to Gary Griffith by an email that was not made privy to the other candidates tainted the list. The fact that he said that the legal notice, the old one, was drafted with him in mind and with the intention to assist him, made the entire process tainted because it meant that there was bias, prejudice, affection, if I want a better term, towards a particular candidate, which was him. But I also know that a candidate walked out of the polygraph testing. Now, if polygraph testing is part of the security and professional vetting, and someone walks out of it, what does that say? The Service Commission, the old one, is proving again that they tainted the list further by the fact that they allowed a candidate to walk out of the testing and then come back another time to take the test. And then, from my understanding, the test was inconclusive. The results were inconclusive, which meant that the person did not pass the test. Because with polygraph, there's you pass, you fail, or we're not sure because we can't prove that you failed it or passed it. Therefore, you didn't pass. Why would you put such a person on the merit list? And finally, I would like to know what kind of questions were asked of that candidate that will cause them to walk out of a testing booth. Now, I heard a reporter ask Gary whether he had accepted or taken any bribe with respect to the firearms. For me, a perfectly legitimate question to ask the person who was in charge of the process, if that's the case. And I think that I expected maybe that was on the polygraph. I don't know. That should have been. But then he proceeded to make some extremely misogynistic remarks towards the reporter. Like asking her, well, have you ever been charged or convicted for prostitution? No, that is sick thing for a person who was holding the post of commissioner of police to tell a reporter in the circumstances for asking a legitimate question. The answer to that question that she asked him was yes or no. Not your, like he said to her, you're fast and you're out of place. Why? It's because Gary is God? That is not how it works. Then therefore, if Gary is God, then he doesn't need a merit list or a process to make him commissioner, because he's God already. But what other questions could be asked to force a candidate to run away, to escape from the room, and not to complete a test? Were any candidates asked whether they impregnated a female police officer, for example. I don't know if that was on the test. Maybe it should be. Because if you're in that position, applying for that position, things that may affect your integrity and impartiality has to come up in terms of professional vetting. So, I don't know what Gary means by the list is the only list that could come out. No. From what I see from the new legal notice, and the fact that that whole commission made several key mistakes that undoubtedly tainted the entire process, then I am saying to him, now that list is not a good list, and I'm the lawyer in this conversation, not him. And I will ask the questions and he could answer it or tell me I'm fast and out of place. Or try insulting me like you do with other people. I will trump and follow suit, not on a voice note. This is for academic and intellectual discussion. But there's another forum for that kind of thing. Some people don't have it. The poor ministers who are subject to his abuse don't have it. The poor reporters, the members of the police or the members of the public, anyone who do not have a forum, it will be easy pickings for someone who is intent on being a bully. But me ain't no easy touch. And I just waiting. In fact, I have 2 verses already prepared. So let me see what will happen now. I expect the new service commission to make a decision within a fortnight. We go see.